had the privilege of growing up in North Carolina. I came of age in the 1960s. North Carolina was in the forefront of moving to become what they call the New South, moving from an old South to the New South. And that has brought enormous progress to our state. We went from being a dirt poor state to becoming now one of the most innovative states in the country, where students flock to North Carolina. And I see the progress now being threatened by a growing sense that North Carolina wants to go backward, not forward, into the 21st century. We're getting calls from some parents. We're getting messages from our friends saying, you know, I was really thinking about coming to school in North Carolina, but I want to think about it some more. I'm not quite sure whether I'll be welcome. And that's also going to apply to faculty. You know, one of the strengths of our public universities is at Chapel Hill, at NC State, and across the state. You know, you can go from Appalachia to Greensboro and down into Wilmington, all across the state. These out-of-state students have been really, really important to enriching the culture and the economic fabric of the state. And faculty members, which we've attracted in great numbers, you want the engineering faculty coming in, you want the science faculty coming in, we want the liberal arts faculty coming in. And if they decide, you know, this is a state that has a certain amount of intolerance, I'm not so sure I want to be there. When North Carolina, as it has been recently, shows up in headlines, North Carolina and Mississippi do the same thing together, that is going backwards for us in terms of our reputation. This is a time we need to be pulling together and find a solution, a creative solution, and I do think there are creative solutions. North Carolina is right on the edge. We've had such a good reputation. Let's not go back. Let's not go backward. These anecdotes are piling up now of people that we'd love to recruit into North Carolina, and you know, for whatever reason, they're not quite so sure. We're going to unfortunately hear more of that. And listen, this is a time to rally behind the institutions of higher education, whether they're public or private. I cannot stress enough that in an innovative economy, when so much emphasis is placed on, you know, on knowledge and breakthroughs in the life sciences and digital economy and energy and so many different areas, where our engineering schools are all important, where our science labs are so important, where our medical facilities are so important, the medical research, we have to have the very best public and private universities in the country in order to attract the very best people.